Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to talk about putting. That's right, I've been doing a lot of putting practice, and the reason being is because I felt my putting was okay but it wasn't great and it could have been a lot better. Too many free putts as far as I was concerned, so I wanted to try and really remove free putts to help reduce my score. And recently, when I have been able to get out on the course, I can honestly say it's made a big difference, this practicing. It's given me a lot more confidence when I land on the green, and it gives me a lot of confidence when I'm just a few foot from the hole. And when it comes to putting, it's important that you have confidence from really around 3 foot inwards, because any putt we do from a long distance, our aim is, I guess, to get it in the hole, but realistically the aim is to get it within a 3 foot radius of the hole, because then we've got the most chance then, percentage wise, of actually getting it down from 3 feet, i.e. meaning we 2-putt if we land anywhere on the green. Now when you look at what the tour pros do compared to a scratch player and someone with a 20 handicap like myself, these are what the results look like. And as you can see, someone who typically goes round in 90 from 2 feet will miss 5 out of 100 putts. Now I know for one, myself for one, recently when I went out on one round of golf, I missed 3 putts from within 2 feet. And this is what made me decide, right, I need to get better from 3 feet in. So what you see me doing here right now is, the course was closed on this particular day due to flooding, but the putting green wasn't. There was nobody around, and I thought this is a perfect day for me to go down and start practicing. So the session was quite simple. I was going to start from around a foot out from the hole, and then I put 4 tees down which were around about a foot. They might have been around a foot and a half, and started putting. 4 balls in, reset, putt them in, reset, putt them in. And I did this with 100 balls, and I still managed, believe it or not, to miss a few whilst doing it. The aim is for me is to continue doing this until I basically get 100 down out of 100 out of 100 golf balls in the hole. Now that's not to say that I'm going to miss 1 or 2 in the future. There's always that possibility. There's even footage of tour pros missing 2-footers, so we're all going to do it at some point. But I do really want to get to the point where when it's within a foot of a hole, or 1.5 feet, I'm going to have no problem getting it in the hole. And the ones I did miss really was just a lack of concentration. I think I started thinking about things other than putting in my brain and stuff while I was trying to putt the ball. And it's simple little things like a lack of concentration that will make you miss your putts. So once I'd done this 100 times and I'd written the average down, I then moved the tees out and started putting from 2.5 feet. So here, just using my golf club as a measuring device, so I get a consistent distance from the hole for each tee that I'm placing in. And then basically it's a matter of continuing, but now I'm roughly about 2.5 feet from the hole. Now I have to admit, this is quite boring. It's not exactly exciting, just going round and round a circle on the floor and putting 100 balls in. But to be honest with you, this is what I think it needs if you want to really improve your game. And if you want to become a better golfer, and a lot of people ask the question, you know, how is somebody playing off of 1, 2, 3, 4 handicap? Well, these people do this kind of thing. So they don't miss their putts from 1 foot, and they hit the green and they're able to get down in 2. When you look at tour pros, they rarely free putt. From a distance of 25 feet or longer, they will only free putt around 10% of the time, not even that. From 25 feet, it's around 2% of the time that they free putt. Now, of course, I'm not trying to be a tour pro. I think that boat sailed a long time ago. But what I do believe is that putting is one of the easier things that we can all learn and get better at. It's not particularly difficult from a perspective of you're hitting the ball, and it's the safer part of the game. You're not going to typically putt a ball and end up somewhere in the rough or in a bunker, not unless you whack the thing. So in general, it's one of the easiest parts of a game that we can try and get better at. And if you get to the point where you're pretty much eliminating free putts no matter where you are from a green, you will shave a lot of points off your score. On an average round, when I go round, I'm probably free putting 5 or 6 times. Then I'm getting some 1 putts and the rest are 2 putts. But if I can get those 3 putts off the scorecard, then instantly I shave 5 off of my handicap. So it's certainly worth spending the time and getting that confidence in your putting. And once I finished doing 100 balls with 2.5 foot putts, I extended it out to 3 foot putts and continued and did this again with 100 balls. And the idea here is, as the same with the other one, from 100 balls you count the ones you missed. So if you miss 5, then you know you're getting a 95% success rate in putting the ball into the hole, and that gives you room to improve. And the other thing is, you'll probably notice, is when I did it from 1 foot and around 2 foot, I was just putting them in. I was just walking up and I didn't move the ball. I didn't point the little arrows on the ball or the name and the ball towards the hole. I just walked up and they were tap-ins. And it's good to get that confidence from about 2 feet in to just be able to tap the ball in without having to clean your ball, line it all up. But at 3 feet, I now felt that it was necessary to line the ball up with the hole. The contours of the green didn't really affect the ball roll at all, but it was really just a matter of lining it up to make sure I hit my line and get the ball in the hole. And really the only thing at this point is concentrating on the weight to make sure I land it in the hole and don't leave it short, which is another problem that I sometimes do. Finally, I moved the tees out to around 4 feet away, and this is where it started to get quite tricky and started to miss a lot more balls, which is really good because the first 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot away, I feel my success rate was really good, but 4 foot it started to get a little bit dodgy. So this is an area where I know I now need to start improving, and I want to get to a point where I can try and putt from 4 feet more like a scratch player than somebody like I currently have with a 20 handicap. That way I know then when I get within 4 feet I'm going to have a lot of confidence in getting a ball in the hole. And I'll keep doing this 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet and so on to try and get my averages, so I've got a good idea on my putting averages from different distances. So I decided to switch holes, and just because the contours were a little bit different on this hole, and I had a bit of a slope to play with as well, and basically reset up the tee so there was a 4 foot distance away. And this time, instead of just doing 100 balls, the idea was to get 10 in a row in the hole. And if I missed, so if I got to 5 and then missed, it reset back to 1. And fortunately I actually managed to do this, and it didn't take me too long, which I was quite pleased about. But the overall putting practice I did on this particular day, despite it being quite cold, I spent about 2 hours on this day practicing putting, because it does get quite time consuming when you have to putt 100 balls into a hole. And it's fairly quick from 1 foot, but once you get to 3 foot and you're lining up each ball, and 4 foot and you're lining up each ball and taking a couple of practice strokes and things, it starts to get quite time consuming. But the cold did eventually get the better of me, and it started to seep in through all the layers I had on, and eventually I had enough and I had to go home because I was just not enjoying it anymore. So this is just one of the things that I've been doing recently. I'm going to bring out another video about other ways that I've been practicing putting, because I think it's interesting, and certainly if you want to learn how to putt and get better at putting, it's worth watching these types of videos. So what I'd like you to do is hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way my videos can get seen, and hopefully I can get some more subscribers, which will encourage me to do more videos in the future. In the meantime, happy putting everybody, and I hope you're enjoying your golf, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks everyone.